Good evening and welcome to the Sports Bar Weekend with me, Majestic and Chelsea fan and broadcaster Rory Jennings is alongside me as we see Chelsea and Mr. Rossini get off to a great start as they beat Charlton in the FA Cup 5-1. That's Chelsea through to the next round. And I tell you who are not through to the next round, my beloved Tottenham Hotspur. That's right, on my birthday of all days. I go to Spurs to watch, hence I'm still in my tracksuit. I go to Spurs to watch us progress in the FA Cup. Lo and behold, Aston Villa there to spoil the day yet again at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, as it was in the Premier League, it was in the FA Cup. 2 goals from Villa, beating us 2-1. There are so many Spurs fans waiting to get in touch with us as well as Villa fans as well. We'll hear, obviously, what Rory thinks of Chelsea's start with Rossini at the helm. Rossini, he sounds like the real deal. That's a great name. I think, I'm saying Rory behind the scenes, I think this man's one to watch. 03717 223344. It's a Sports Bar Weekender. We've only got a couple of hours to get your calls in now. That's right, it is the Sports Bar Weekend with me, Majestic and Rory Jennings. And only Spurs can ruin my birthday. Like, literally, Rory, I got a call from the gaffer the other day. He said, Madge, can you do the Sports Bar on Saturday night? I went, my birthday. I'm going Spurs with a few of my friends and my dad and that. So, go on then. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And last time I did that, we played Fulham on a 8 o'clock Saturday night kickoff. We lost as well. It's just a recurring theme, isn't it? Spurs losing at home. Very disappointing, of course, not to be kicked out of the FA Cup at an early stage yet again. We'll get into that as well. But let's start with Chelsea. Of course, we've just seen them win 5-1. It's the perfect game to start for Liam Rossini and a perfect victory.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we can read too much into it. Happy birthday before we go any further. Have many happy returns. Yeah, but look, us trouncing Charlton, it's a big deal, scoring 5 goals away from home, 5 different goal scorers. There's some positives there. It's just the most expected positive. Yeah. Like, we have to beat Charlton away. We have to do well in the Cup. We have a very proud record of success in the FA Cup. I love the Cup, mate. I take the Cup so seriously. Brilliant. It's a wonderful competition. I think people can be so sneery about the FA Cup. And then when you talk to any football fan, you go, tell me your 3 best moments. 3 best moments of being a football fan. Invariably, at least one of those moments will be FA Cup related. Listen,
this game is about winning trophies. And if you can win a trophy, as I said, even bigger fish to fry in the week, Liam Rossini has got this is the semis, right, of the Carabao Cup. You know, he could be winning a trophy in the first couple of months of his tenure. Yeah, and it sorts you out. You know, if you can win some silverware, it changes the feeling. You know, there is a very... Unless you're Ange.
There is, yeah. There are very specific circumstances where it doesn't, although even that did change the feeling, really, didn't it? I know that he ended up getting a sack, but it did still change the feeling. I think that the fact that he managed to win that trophy meant that it was a debate as to whether he kept his job, and it certainly has painted him in a positive light with regard to Tottenham fans.
Yeah, 100%. What did you take from that, apart from the fact that you had to win? Anything from the selection or the game management? It's hard to tell, isn't it?
It's hard to read too much into it. Basically, we had to just win the game. Yeah. It's a crisis if you don't win it. It's a crisis for us to go out the Cup. So the fact that we got over the line, I thought the substitutions were good. You know, Esteval and Enzo Fernandez, when they came on, they were a different class. But then they are a different class, aren't they? Yeah. Realistically, they're going to be so much better than anything that Charlton have to offer. It's great to see the Valley full, though. Like, it's a great stadium, isn't it? Like, a couple of my mates sent some pictures from that away end. It's a glorious away end. It's a great stadium. And it's nice to get the win.
Well, speaking of wins, Aston Villa, of course, they're going to be happy. I've had a message already from my Villa brethren. Charlie says, hi, Majestic. This is Charlie. What did you think of the Villa game? Please shout out to Charlie and my dad, Nick. They're saying, of the Villa. They've had a good day out there. And I must admit, the Villa fans, absolutely superb.
They've got good support, Villa.
Brilliant.
They've always got good
Listen,
numbers.
I'm a big fan of Aston Villa. Obviously, I don't want them to beat us when we're at Tottenham Hotspur. But, you know, obviously... Our good friend here, Gabby, and, you know, the people... My Villa friends are proper.
Villa are a proper club.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I do England aways, there's always a lot of Villa fans who are there. They are a big, prestigious club. And I think sometimes clubs like Villa, people who don't necessarily know, like a modern football fan, doesn't recognise the prestige of who Aston Villa are and what they represent. Yeah, they were in full voice. And again, you know, we'll wax lyrical about Unai Emery and Villa during the show, I'm sure. And Villa fans, do call us 03717 223344. Let's go straight to the phone lines. We've got a Chelsea fan, one of your mobs here. Kez joins us. How are we, Kez?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Well, not as good as you are, because you're through to the next round in the FA Cup, and my team aren't. But what did you make of that?
Yeah, it was good. And I just wanted to actually defend Blueco. especially because Rory's on tonight. And
Here we go.
I feel a lot of fans and pundits alike have been very one-dimensional in their views with regards to Blueco in the most recent weeks. So I just feel that they deserve a bit more credit than I think they get.
Okay, why do you believe they deserve more credit? What's giving you that thought process?
Well, number one, I think there's been a lot of comparison with Roman Abramovich, right, in the early 2000s. But I think what we're forgetting is, like, obviously Roman Abramovich took over in an era where PSR didn't exist. He also took over in an era where there were a lot of good managers around. And I'm just saying, if Roman Abramovich, because obviously there's been a lot of rhetoric on Chelsea under Roman Abramovich for this and that, but if Roman Abramovich were to take over a Premier League club, they would be like Newcastle in the sense that, fine, they're really rich, but they can't spend the money. So I do feel comparisons to Roman Abramovich are a bit unfair.
Because I mean this with total respect, I really do. But what on earth are you on about? What comparisons are there with Roman Abramovich? Roman Abramovich, when he came into Chelsea, he bought the very best that you could possibly buy.
But no restrictions, is what Kez is saying.
But you buy the best. Like, Chelsea have spent a lot of money, but at no point have we bought the best. There's no comparison between Chelsea now and Chelsea under Abramovich. None.
You can't consistently buy the best. You cannot buy Robben, Drogba, Petr Cech, all these players in one transfer window anymore.
We haven't bought one of them, though, have we? We literally haven't bought one of them.
Well, Caicedo was considered the best when you bought him. One of the best, wasn't he?
I would say we've broken the transfer record twice with Enzo and Caicedo. It's not our fault that Roman Abramovich actually left us with two centre-backs by letting go of Rudiger and Christensen, by not giving them new contracts.
For every Moises Caicedo, there are 10 Dario Asugos. There are 10 David Washingtons. There are 10 David Datro Fofanas.
Okay, but what about the Cole Palmers, Estevals, and Andrea Santos? That's £250 million of talent that we signed for £100 million. So technically, that is a brilliant business. Like, obviously, every single club are going to have transfer failures.
Do you feel like Chelsea are trying to assemble a team that is capable of winning the Premier League? Do you think that's the motivation?
Okay, if I can just explain my point. We live in PSR, so let's compare with Newcastle, right? Newcastle, you could say, are the new Abramovich team, they're rich. They cannot sign anyone. So if you cannot sign the next Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo, the best thing you can do is sign the next young up-and-coming thing. Real Madrid have been doing this for a long time. They signed Vinicius Jr. when he was unknown. Chelsea have latched onto this model. Because we cannot sign Vinicius Jr., let's sign the next.
No, we did that. We signed Noni Madueke, but the second that we could turn a profit on him, we sold him. And then what did we do? We went and we bought Jamie Gittins. So that's not trying to make the team better, is it? If you want to win the league, what you do is you could justify selling Madueke if you want. You sell Madueke, but then you go and you buy Eberiche Eze. You don't sell Madueke and go and buy Jamie Gittins. Madueke's in the England team. Jamie Gittins on the bench of a dreadful Dortmund side. I would say is that
Madueke is a right winger, right? We had Estevao, who's a right winger. So the profit we made from selling Madueke, we signed Estevao. Because Estevao cost 30 million, and we made 20 million on Madueke. And Estevao, I would say, is probably similar to Madueke in terms of who knows about their potential. And also, we needed a left winger, right? So left wingers, if we look at the Premier League, there's a big shortage of good left wingers, right? So Arsenal, Martinelli's not really doing it. Trossard's average. Cunha is all right. I mean, there is a big hole in left wingers, and right now, Neto is all right. Gittins is a bit of a gamble. I don't say they get it right every time, but I agree. In the era of PSR, you can't just go out and find the best player. Look at Newcastle. Let's look at Newcastle.
What about signing the odd experienced player? What about signing the odd? Like, you think about some of the best players in Chelsea's history. Mark Hughes arrived when he was in his 30s. Ruud Gullit arrived when he was in his 30s. Michael Ballack. How old was Thiago Silva? Why are we only signing children?
Brilliant call. Thank you very much, Kez. We've got a message here saying, how can you praise Blueco? Who is this clown? We were built to win trophies or nothing. Now we're built to make profit. We're not trying to win trophies. We're trying to make money. That's from Alex living in York. Thank you, Kez. Listen, your opinions are welcome. This is why we're here. This is why the Sports Bar's open for business. Just like that, out the gates. It's what Rory Jennings brings here. They're coming for you, Rory. 03717 22 3344 is the number. The lines are open. This is your chance to get on national radio and have your say about your team. I want to hear from Villa fans. They're still on the way home. Are you excited about the FA Cup this season? Looking good in all competitions. Trophies, that's what you want this year. Step further, win a trophy. Is the FA Cup one of those? 03717 22 3344. It's Rory and Majestic. It's talkSPORT.
by 2-1. Rodgers pumps his fist at the Villa. He's delighted. He ultimately has scored the winner after Buendia put Villa a goal to the good. And despite Odobert pulling one back for Tottenham in the second half, Villa did enough to hold on. The pressure grows on Thomas Frank, but it's Aston Villa who go through. They have beaten Spurs by 2-1.
That's right, Villa progressed to the next round of the FA Cup, and Spurs exit once again at the hands of Aston Villa like they did last year. Funny enough, I was on air after that as well with Gabby Bonhart. Oh, I swear they do this on purpose. They look at the diary and go, oh, Spurs are playing, let's get Majon, wind him up.
Banana skin there, get him in.
Oh, no, get him in. I'm on tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow, of course, 6:30 on your Sunday evening. Myself and Alan Pardew will be assessing the rest of the weekend's FA Cup action. But, of course, right now, it's the Sports Bar Weekender with me, Majestic, and Rory Jennings. And we're going straight to the phone lines because I've got Mark, the Villa fans. How are we, Mark?
Hello, mate. You okay?
Not so bad. You weren't in the crowd waving at me earlier, was you? Only you 2-1 up, was you?
I was trying, but you weren't looking.
I tell you what, the Villa fans were in full song tonight, weren't they? Brilliant.
Oh, mate, honestly, the atmosphere, the fans, the game. Honestly, we've got so much to be proud of right about now, which is just
you do.
It's great. We've been through it all the last few years.
Yeah, listen, now, you have, mate. And like I said, I've got a lot of friends who are Villa, and, you know, coming from the Championship up to where you are now, as me and Rory both declared, you know, Villa's huge club, and today again it showed with the fan base there.
My thing is, people don't appreciate that we are a big club. Like, and I know people think that, you know, a general Villa fan thinking, yeah, we're a big club, but we've got good history, we've played good football, and I think it's great now that we're back at the top where we belong.
Well, this is it. We were just discussing the FA Cup. I think both me and Rory love the FA Cup, yeah, because there's so much nostalgia attached to it. And, of course, the generation that me and Rory are, we were still in a generation where it was a whole day, the Saturday of the Cup. I still remember his team, 97 against Middlesbrough, 42 seconds, Di Matteo. I'm not even a Chelsea fan, but I remember it because it was such a big moment. Villa, the last time you won the FA Cup, 1957. Could this be the year?
Wow. And you know, my first ever season, I went to the Villa. We beat United 3-1, and I went to the Carling Cup final, and we beat Leeds.
I remember that.
And
Dwight York. Yeah.
That was the last time I remember Villa winning a cup. But it's just amazing to see that we're up there. Like Morgan Rodgers said, he would love to win the FA Cup. Yeah. None of the Villa players have won a cup. So the fact that we're there, and we're up there and we're challenging, it's fantastic that we're there.
Well, you've got a player in that team that haunts Rory, of course, Tillemans from the FA Cup with Leicester, so he knows what it's like to win the FA Cup. I think that's what's going to really define Aston Villa's season this year for me. The way the trajectory of Villa so far is, if you can get some silverware this year, that's a real, you know, declaring that, you know, Villa, they're back.
100%. 100%.
And which I think
the big thing.
I think, Mark, the European trophy, the Europa League, I think that's another one you should be looking for. Potentially, Villa could do an FA Cup and European double.
With Unai Emery at the helm, when you talk about Europe,
great manager,
top-tier manager, definitely on the borderline of elite, if not elite already. And his European record.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind, Aston Villa have a proud European record as well.
Yeah.
You know, what was it, 1982? Won it in Rotterdam, I think. Like the fact that Aston Villa are managed by a European heavyweight, there's no reason why you couldn't go all the way in that competition.
Agreed.
As well.
And I think that's what we need to aim for. At the end of the day, every Villa fan, every Villa player, we want to win a cup. And at the end of the day, like not Martin O'Neill, but, you know, Emery is like one of the people that can take us there. Like, he's a proper manager. He's running the club. The people that we're buying now, hopefully, for the future, we're building for the future. And I think people are taking Emery for granted in the fact that, you know, how he runs the club. Like, we're building something.
Do you know what, Mark? I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, Mark. I sat there earlier tonight, and you know, in our amazing stadium. It's an amazing stadium, right? 100%. But you lot bring in the noise and the atmosphere, and we ain't really seen too much of an atmosphere over there at Spurs in recent times. But you lot did bring the noise tonight, and of course you had quite a big allocation. So the atmosphere was rocking tonight, which was great. And I was watching Villa, and I was like, a little bit jealous, Rory, because
it about beautifully. Both goals.
It reminded me of, especially seeing like Morgan Rogers, who I'm a huge fan of, right?
Class.
A couple of seasons ago, he's ripping up the Championship with Borough. It reminded me of when Dele Alli came from MK Dons, and all of a sudden he's being touted to go to Real Madrid. Villa in a great place. I think if you can back him in this window, is there anyone you think you particularly need to strengthen in any area?
Right. Well, to be fair, Matty Cash. I love Matty Cash, but I still think, and I think most Villa fans, we still need another right back because like Arsenal, Matty Cash goes out, and we struggle a little bit in that area. And I think if we can strengthen a few little places, I don't think any Villa fan believes that we can win the league, and that's not being stupid, yeah. But I think, we all know that we've got an opportunity, but as long as we're up there and we've got a chance to challenge for people like Man City, like Arsenal. We've done Arsenal, and I don't think the Arsenal game did us justice. And a lot of what the pundits say that Arsenal come out and smashed us. The first half, we were head to toe with Arsenal. We had about 20 minutes where we all went a little bit ping-pong with the Arsenal game. But I don't think that really showed the justice of how that game went. It's a bit of a random game, but at the end of the day, that we're joint second in the Premier League with Man City.
He's doing brilliant.
8 points behind Arsenal.
Mark, thank you so much. Safe journey home, my friend. That was Mark, the Villa fan. Very happy, and of course wants to see silverware at his club. And I think, as I say,
it's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming.
And
one way or the other, it's coming.
You look at Villa, right? You look at the FA Cup, the teams that they have to beat, they can beat all of them.
I agree. So, and also, when you think about the players, so many of their team are capable of winning a cup. Generally a cup is won by a magic man, isn't it? There is somebody that drives a team to that like unforgettable moment at Wembley. Emi Buendia is that. Morgan Rogers is obviously
that was the repeat of in the league for Spurs. It was Buendia and Morgan Rogers again.
Yeah,
two magic moments. Yeah,
they're moment players, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're both capable of winning a trophy for Aston Villa, and I think it will come this year, one way or the other, by hook or by crook, whether it's domestically or in Europe. I do think they'll win silverware.
Yeah, I do think so as well. 03717 22 33 44 is the number to call. Should we squeeze in a Spurs fan quickly? Let's get a Spurs fan on before we have a quick pause. I know how I feel after that game, but Lawrence joins us. Good evening, Lawrence.
Hello.
How are you feeling after that defeat?
First thing first, thank you for accepting my call. I'm a first-time caller, Spurs fan.
Well, you're very welcome, Lawrence. Thank you for supporting.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's absolutely been disappointing, to be honest. Absolutely disappointing. Premier League performance, FA Cup performance, and we are meant to be a European champions. In May, we won a trophy, a major trophy, right? And I'll tell you what was special about that trophy. My dad passed away in the month of May, and that match, when we won that match, that particular match made my entire month, and I had to travel all the way to India to pay my last respect to my dad after that match.
Sorry for your loss, Lawrence.
And it's okay. I appreciate that. After that, what have we done? What actual thing have we done?
Well, first and foremost, Lawrence, we sacked the manager that brought us that trophy, and I was part of that brigade that thought, no, I'm done with Ange. So we've got to look at that, and we've got to take that on the chin and go, okay, cool. We thought that moving forward, he wasn't the right man. Let's go get the next right man. Thomas Frank comes in that moment in time, during that whole period of a transfer window. We then the chairman's now gone. We're a club at the moment that's all over the place, realistically.
We are literally all over the place, sir. That is so true. We are literally all over the place, and I don't know when are we going to be on track again, and how long is it going to take? What sort of players? What sort of tactics we're gonna have to look forward for? If we want to do something in this game, we got to do something right. I don't know. I mean, it's been disappointing, honestly speaking. And I'm actually an HGV driver. Yeah, I drive for living. I drive for living.
Yeah.
The only way I can possibly listen to football is while I'm driving, because football, whenever Spurs are playing, they always play when I'm working, right? And when I listen to them on talkSPORT every time, and seeing them losing 5-1, 3-2, and this sort of games, and it's just frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating. I don't know how long it's going to take for us to come back on track.
Lawrence is a great call. Thank you very much. Lawrence there, he's raised a great point. And how he's feeling is how I walked out the stadium tonight feeling of it's the same old thing. So, annoyingly, I must admit, Rory, the second half was a lot better. Xavi Simons, I thought, was fantastic in the second half. I love Polina. I don't understand. He should start every game. But you look at that and you just go, in fairness to Thomas Frank, we had 2 goals ruled offside as well. Like, I feel for Thomas Frank because not a lot's going right for him. You know, you don't get the rub of the green.
No, it's not going his way. It's not his lucky. Every day feels like it's not his lucky day.
Picking up an Arsenal cup and all that kind of stuff. Just, literally, he will wait tomorrow morning with like an Arsenal towel or something. Like, it's not going his way.
I tell you what, mate, Tottenham, since the start of last season, I just saw the stat. Since the start of last season,
at home,
they have lost in total 37 times.
And I've seen most of it.
They have lost 37 games in 1.5 seasons.
And they wonder why fans are so angry. And like I don't know if you saw the scenes the other night. And it's boiling over. We saw the scenes at the end of the FA Cup game there with Polina and Ollie Watkins and stuff. There's a lot of emotions running high. And I think when you're in that state, that hyper-emotional state, that's the hardest time to fix things because there's no logic and there's no reasoning. So it's going to be interesting. 03717 223344. I want to hear from some more Spurs fans. Thomas Frank, is he the man to take Tottenham Hotspur forward? Rory, I know you're a Chelsea fan, but your opinions on that, do you reckon he is or not?
Frank, I think it's really difficult, Madge, because when I talk about other football clubs, I will always concede that the fans of the football club are the answer. So when I hear Tottenham fans, when my mates who support Tottenham go over the lane a lot, when they tell me that Frank is not the man for the job, he is not Tottenham, he doesn't fit the club, and they're better off without him, I kind of have to concede to their superior knowledge. But from the outside looking in, I sometimes think, what do they expect? Last year, they were 17th. They accrued a points tally that could have seen them relegated. Yeah. This year, they're not that. But I do admit,
and out the FA Cup
they're
again.
14th in the league and out
the Carabao Cup. Like earlier than last year.
On some level, do you know what it feels like? It just feels like the job could be too big for him.
Yeah, interesting. We'll dive into a bit more of that as well. Spurs fans, call us on that subject. 03717 223344. It's Majestic and Rory Jennings. It's talkSPORT. It's the Sports Bar Weekender.
Be there for Super Bowl 60 on talkSPORT.
It's a Super Bowl competition, so I'll speak like this. Our greatest and latest competition has landed, and this is your chance to be at the greatest show on earth, the Super Bowl, on Sunday, the 8th of February. As well as a pair of tickets, we're chucking in flights to San Francisco. 3 nights accommodation and spending money, all covered. Listen up. Here's how to enter. For your chance to win, text the word WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or you can call us on 0343 418 7260. Lines close the 22nd of January 2026 at 4 p.m. That's when you'll need to answer your phone. Of course, if it rings 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. So for your chance to win, text the word WIN to 83338 now. Good luck.
Be there for Super Bowl 60 on talkSPORT.
That's right, the Super Bowl. You like a bit of Super Bowl, Rory?
Yeah, I mean, superficially, don't mind it.
Very superficially.
Very superficially, yeah.
So, the FA Cup rolls into town. Of course, the magic of the Cup sees Macclesfield knock out the holders of the FA Cup, Crystal Palace. Manchester City hit 10 against Exeter, 10-1. Semenyo scoring in his debut. Pep Guardiola playing FIFA Ultimate Team as always. Oh, he's good. We'll have him. And other big results, Wolves 6, Shrewsbury 1. It's good for Wolves' confidence at the moment. They'll need that going into the Premier League battle they're in at the moment. But let's go to the phone lines. We've got a Chelsea fan. We've got Dr. Thomas. How are we, Dr. Thomas?
Hello. I'm very good. How are you?
Welcome to the show. I don't know if you heard Rory's little argument earlier on with the... who was the Chelsea fan?
I forget his name, but he was quite sympathetic to Bluco and Egg Barley. Where do you sit on that one, Dr. Thomas?
Well, can I just thank you for your response, Rory, because I'm 100% sympathetic to your position. Even though, look, I'm delighted to have won the game 5-1. There's never going to be a moment when I don't want Chelsea to win. But Bluco are a problem. Their model is a problem, and it's one that is not. And I can... Honestly, it hurts me to make this prediction. I don't see us being anything better than a top 4 team for the next 5-6 years or going forward beyond that. I don't see how spending money on these types of...
Oh, are we lost?
Do you know, I think we may, annoyingly, have lost Dr. Thomas there, but do you know where I disagree with him already? He seems to be saying that he doesn't see a world where we're going to be anything more than a top 4 team. That sounds incredibly optimistic. I think there's a world where... nothing that Chelsea are doing.
Dr. Thomas is back.
Great. Okay.
Hello.
Dr. Thomas, sorry, we lost you there. You were saying that you think that we're going to be effectively, at best, a top 4 team. I think that that's really optimistic. I don't think that we're making appointments that are in line with keeping ourselves in the Champions League spots.
Yeah, you're probably right. But then again, if we're going to keep sacking managers and then relying on the bounce to actually get results to make the top 4, then we're always going to be, I suppose, in with some chance. But I guess the thing that makes me make that prediction is that I look at our transfer model now and how economically astute it's trying to be. And I can't help but think we've become the thing that we used to mock like 10 or so years ago. And that was when, do you remember that period when Arsenal would only sign certain players that allowed them to pay off the debt for their stadium? And we would make fun of them whenever they lost 8-2. So what was it? Was it City or United? I can't remember
they
now.
lost 8-2 at United, didn't they?
Yeah, I can't help but think we've become that banter club now.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. What the other thing that I think has happened at Chelsea, and this is part of the new ownership strategy, we've almost redefined what success means. Like what success used to mean at Chelsea was winning the league, winning the European Cup, winning silverware. We've now actually redefined the term success, and we've made it applicable to top 4 qualification. Finishing 4th isn't success. Finishing 4th isn't anything to celebrate. When Arsenal did that, was it away at St James's Park? Do you remember when they had that picture in the dressing room away at St James's Park when they made it into the top 4?
That was embarrassing.
We mocked that, and now we are that.
I know, and it actually hurts me to know that that's precisely where we are. But the most painful thing is we're actually more of a laughing stock than them, arguably, because it's not as if we're not spending money.
Yeah, you're spending a lot of money.
We're throwing it away on these wonder kids who in most cases don't actually fit the billing that we thought. But you have the odd exception like Palmer, and I do think there's a good player in Jamie Gittins, but he's not there yet. And then you've got many others like what was Disassi about? Why did we sign him, for goodness sake? He's average at best.
Benoit Badiashile is an example of a signing. And do you know when we were sort of gaslit by the ownership? Like, they tried to get rid of Chalobah. Do you remember they sent Chalobah out to Crystal Palace? They were trying to get him out of the club. And it felt like we were then told that he was a better player, that the players coming in were going to be better. Benoit Badiashile is going to be better. You know, Axel Disasi is going to be better. It's the similar thing that what they did. Do you remember when they tried to gaslight us into believing that Keenan Dewsbury Hall was a better player than Conor Gallagher? You're like, wait, what? Yeah. What are you talking about? Of course that isn't the case. You know, there's never, ever the dream to elevate the players. And it's got to the stage now where so many of these players, like Axel Disasi wouldn't have got in our 1994 team that got beat 4-0 in the FA Cup final. Like Erland Johnson and Jacob Jelberg were both better players than Benoit Badiashile and Axel Disasi.
Well, you just won. You're through to the next round of the FA Cup. Come on.
We know what's coming. We know what.
I'll tell you what could be coming. Could be silverware for the manager.
Yeah, we beat Charlton Athletic 5-1. Let's not get carried away here. We did what we had to do, and we did it convincingly. And look, I wish Liam Rosenior the best of luck, because he's never going to be the problem here. But ultimately, I'm sorry, but it's only going to end in precisely the same way that it ended with Maresca. If Rosenior has the self-respect that Maresca had for what he does as his profession, he turned out to be a footballing man who couldn't be rolled over when he knew that what he was doing was working. And if Blueco are going to sack anyone who has a vision that they want to implement and doubles down on the ways that they know they need to improve the team, then Rosenior isn't going to fare any better. I wish him the best of luck, but I can't see it.
Dr. Thomas, great call. Thank you very much. Let's go to another Chelsea fan. Dean, the Chelsea fan, I believe he was at the game. How are we, Dean?
Hello, mate. Yeah, all good. Loving the show, Madge and Rory.
Thank you very much, sir. Listen, it was only Charlton, but you can't take disrespect. You know, it's still, we've seen upsets today. Macclesfield knocking out the holders, Crystal Palace. You've got to go and get the job done, and a very good job by Chelsea tonight, I thought, Dean.
Yeah, no, it was a good job. I mean, first half, we weren't great, to be honest. I think we were trying to sort ourselves out and understand what we was all about. I thought Lee Byrne really bossed Badiashile and Tosin. I mean, I don't even know why they're in a Chelsea shirt, to be honest. So I think the fella before mentioned Disassi. I think we got Disassi and Badiashile as a buy one, get one free. They're just shocking players. Buonanotte playing in a Chelsea shirt. I mean, it really does show the sort of standard of Chelsea players that we've got at the moment. But I just wanted to talk really about the fella that was on earlier, about we should give Blueco some credit. It's just absolute flannel. They have absolutely ruined our club. But the one thing that I do have a disagreement about a lot of Chelsea fans is whoever comes in, whatever manager, we've got to support him. You know, Liam's a young man. We've got to back him. You know, whatever, you know, and Chelsea fans will do that.
Can I ask you, Dean, you know, when you say back the manager, when the manager becomes the public face of the ownership, like the reason that Liam Rosenior has got the job is because he is a company man. He is in the job simply because he's a company man. He isn't there because of his brilliance. He isn't there because he has earned the right to be there. He isn't there because he is the best man for the job. He is there because he will adopt the policy that the sporting directors and the ownership want him to adopt. He is effectively a company mouthpiece. Why, therefore, if you don't back the ownership, how can you back the manager?
I completely agree with you. But then at the same time, if you're going to games and you're negative at the very beginning of the game, it doesn't help. And the reason why I say that is because you look around and you go, well, if a top manager is offered the Chelsea job at the moment, you turn around and go, well, why would I take that? Because they're going to tell me what I should be doing. So that's the problem that we've got at the moment, is that, you know, we are a different Chelsea. We all know that, right? You know, and I'm flip-flopping between arguments here, but, you know, you look at that Fulham game the other day, you know, I kind of agree with the buying youngsters and getting them in at a price, and I kind of get that, but at the same time, you look at that game the other day when Cucurella got sent off, you know, you got 3 players being booked for dissent. Yeah. You know, one of them is the captain.
Yeah, no,
like,
it's been a theme of our season.
You know,
it's been a theme of our season. We
need 2 or 3 old heads to get in there. Why we haven't gone for someone like Donnarumma, who's won everything?
Yeah,
right?
Gahey.
He's on the cheap.
Gahey was so obvious in the summer.
We should have got Gahey back. You looked at Eze going back to Arsenal, was happy to go back there. We should have gone straight in for Mark and gone, come on, mate, come back.
Yeah,
get a few heads in there to calm it down.
Makes absolute sense. Brilliant call. Thank you very much, Dean. It's glaringly obvious from us as fans and you as a supporter that Chelsea just need a little bit of experience in there, an older head in there to go, oi. And I do think that's what Rossini will add, because where he's actually not that older than a lot of the players, right? It's almost a generational thing. He'll know how to speak to them in a certain way that won't alienate him from them and just show I'm in charge. And I've seen him talking when he was... I've seen some.
Think he can command respect in that?
I think he can. It's going to be difficult, but you do need leaders out there on the pitch as well. And when your leaders are getting sent off, it's no good, is it? 03717 22 3344. It's the Sports Boy Weekender with Majestic and Rory Jennings. The phone lines are open for you and your opinions. It's talkSPORT. Majestic, Rory Jennings here on the Sports Bar Weekender. Oh, how I like to spend my birthday talking about Spurs losing in the FA Cup.
14th in the league and out of the cup. Happy birthday, mate. Have many happy returns.
I'll still take Bilbao. I'll still say that night in Bilbao. It was good. 03717 22 3344. Let's go with the Charlton fan. Tom joins us. How are we, Tom?
You're right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Was you at the game, was you, mate?
You know what, yeah? I'm proud of the boys today. We've 5-1's a flattering score for Chelsea, I'll be honest. I've got to say a few things about Chelsea and how their fans have acted at the game and on here.
Oh, tell us more.
They've got this weird sense, this ego where they've spent, how much money have they spent compared to even your Arsenal's, Tottenham's, Cities, and they're here talking about their owners. And I think there's 89 clubs probably in the football pyramid that would die to be in Chelsea's pyramid, and in Chelsea's situation, sorry. So I think it's a bit embarrassing from their sake, coming on, talking about all of this. They've got a brand new manager. He's a decent bloke who speaks well. He's won today. He's gone to the Valley. It's not we lost 3 games last season at home. Not an easy place to go to, and he's done us 5-1. Fair play to him. Get behind him, invest in him, and back the boys, you know what I mean? Like, the Chelsea fans, they're a bit embarrassing, to be honest with you.
Tom, can I come back to your point? I want to keep you there, Tom, because let's head over to the Valley now to hear from the Charlton manager himself, Nathan Jones, as their side suffered a 5-1 defeat at the hands of Chelsea.
Mixed, really, because there's elements of it you want to be really proud of, and then obviously the 2 late goals really sort of kill the scoreline as such. But look, for the endeavour and the work rate and the game plan, we were in it. And then the goals for us are really poor. I mean, the first goal's a great strike. Second goal, schoolboy. You know, we allow him to get near post. We don't defend. We defend better than that, and we didn't. And then we get back in it. And then the third goal is the most disappointing because they score from the edge, which we highlight constantly, and just people weren't listening. People didn't listen. So that was the thing. And the 3-1, then they can play, and these are world class. You know, they got world class players in terms of that. And then they punished us. They probably put it's disappointing to concede late, because then it looks like that. But look, large parts of it I was proud of, but we have to learn, and we're not going to come up against these, a week in, week out for a while. But that's the thing. It's just a learning curve for us. So, but look, proud of the endeavour, the performance, proud of the club. 26,000 here, wonderful night. It's just wish we could have really done a little bit more.
Charlton manager Nathan Jones there speaking to talkSPORT after his side suffered a 5-1 defeat at the hands of Chelsea at the Valley. And Tom was there, and he's not happy with the Chelsea fans calling up having a moan, are you, Tom?
You're right, mate. Yeah, no. Chelsea fans today, just overall, bit embarrassing. I've heard a lot on talkSPORT today, a lot on Twitter, a lot there at the stadium, moaning about their owners. And I look at the pyramid, and I look at the state of the pyramid. I look at 88 clubs who probably wish they could spend 200 million, however much they've spent, on their club. And the fact they are where they are, failing, let's call it failing. I don't think they were very good today, to be honest with you. They scored a great goal to go 1-0 up today, just before half-time, and then they killed the second half off. Fair play, they beat us 5-1. I don't think they're impressive. I wasn't blown away. And the amount of money they've spent, as a fan of Chelsea, I wouldn't be impressed. But at the same time, look, you can't complain because you spent how much money. So
what exactly is embarrassing? What's embarrassing from the Chelsea
Rory,
fans?
you.
No, me, no doubt, for a million reasons. But in terms of Chelsea fans more generically, what is it that you believe is embarrassing? Because you keep talking about the money that the owners are spending, but you obviously know how that's done. You know about how they structure the payments, the way that they amortize. You know that there's a debt attached. So you keep talking about the money. It's not quite what it seems, the money, is it?
I completely get that, but there was a time, don't get me wrong, I'm going back 20 years now, but we beat Chelsea 4 games in a row 20 years ago. So why in the space of 20, 25 years has the English football pyramid gone from competitive to 4 teams that can spend what they want and that's it?
20 years ago, we won the league.
Yeah, I agree with. I know. 2002 though to 2005, you weren't where you are now, and now there's this stage where there's 4 teams: Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal are in there now, who just dominate the league. You get your Brentford who are doing well now. Their purple patch is going to run off.
But this was the way 20 years ago. There were a big 4. There were 4 teams that would qualify for the Champions League, and it was guaranteed what 4 of those teams were going to be.
Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool.
It was a guarantee.
And nothing's changed.
Well, okay. I don't understand what's embarrassing. Like Chelsea fans moaning about, as you put it, moaning about the owners. I think that whenever a set of supporters go against the owners, try to keep hold of their club, try to make sure that the institution and what their clubs represent, I will always back those clubs, whether I like the club or not. I will always back Manchester United fans in their fight against the Glazers. I will always back West Ham fans in their fight against GSB. And the fact that Chelsea's ownership, American venture capitalist billionaires, are destroying Chelsea from the inside out. Chelsea fans moaning about that is something that I feel should unify football fans, not divide them.
Brilliant call. Thank you very much. Let's go to another Charlton fan. Roy joins us. He was at the game. How are you, Roy?
Yeah, I'm all right, lads. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. You just heard your manager's words there. He's proud of the boys. Of course, 5-1 looks really bad on paper, but I don't think it necessarily reflected the game.
Yeah, listen, we're all proud of him, and I'm proud of the Charlton fans that was at the game. Like Chelsea's first goal, I can completely understand what the other fella just said. Like they were embarrassing, but only in the sense of like we score and it's limbs. Chelsea fans, like we scored and I didn't even hear him cheer, and I thought, hang on a minute, and Charlton started singing to get their team underway again, and it's just.
But it's your cup final. It's a very incidental game to us. Like, we got Arsenal in a couple of days in a semi-final of the League Cup. This is the biggest game you'll play. You understand why there's a difference in terms of the reaction from the fans, right? Chelsea going to Charlton is one of the least inspiring away days we'll have. Chelsea coming to Charlton is the biggest game that you'll have this season.
No, 100%, and we made the most out of it. We sold out the Valley, and we had the fans backed them all the way.
Yeah, it's the first time it will sell out this season, though, right? Give or take, yeah, almost. You see what I mean? It's all very well to go Chelsea with this, Chelsea with that. This is the least inspiring game that we will play this season. It is the biggest game. This is the World Cup final, and you got done 5-1. So to talk about the limbs and how Chelsea were embarrassing, yeah, we might have been flat. It might have been. I wasn't there. It might have been flat. But it's because it's your cup final. This is a 2-bob game for us.
Mate, the score flattered you. Like first half, you got lucky to get that first goal. And I mean, second half, yeah, you was a bit better, but you still brought on some of your top boys to finish it off. And that says a lot about Charlton. I mean, how much did Garnacho cost?
What exactly does it say about Charlton? You got beat 5-1 at home.
Thank you very much, Roy. That was Roy, the Charlton fan. I tell you what, Charlton fans still ain't happy you got Scott Parker that time.
No, exactly. That's what it is. Yeah, fuming. They were fuming that Claude Macclesfield scored against them.
Yeah, they're fuming that. Our good friend who was on air before us tonight. Another one.
Yeah, absolutely.
03717 2334. We're sorry for Scott Parker, sorry for Scott Minto. All the Scots been taken from Charlton to Chelsea. Brilliant. I'd love to hear from the Charlton fans. I hear what they're saying, and I understand what Rory's saying as well. Like you said, this is why we love the FA Cup, because it's a lot of people's big day out, and then it is a lot of clubs like Chelsea looking at it going, oh, let's go there, do the job, come home. We've got a game on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever. Unlucky for Spurs, it's always Villa, City, or someone else. We get all the games that you can have for Spurs in recent years just keep getting Premier League dons. So annoying. 03717. Every year I'm like an FA Cup run. Number 3, Tottenham Hotspur versus Aston Villa. Oh, thanks a lot. Keep those calls coming in. 03717 223344. I want to hear from some Spurs fans this evening, because on the way home on the train, hearing the Spurs fans talking about, there are some confused. Some want Frank out. Some just don't know how they feel right now. Others are very much like, I just don't know. I won't even go next week. 03717 223344. It's Sports Bar Weekend with Madge and Rory Jennings.
How did it all come crashing down for Wales so suddenly? In his first tenure in charge, Warren Gatland built a dynasty, taking young guns and turning them into giants, not just for Wales, but for the Lions as well. 4 Six Nations titles, 3 of them Grand Slams, and in 2019, a world #1 ranking. But then, a record drop-off, golden generation all but gone, a first wooden spoon for 21 years and 14 losses on the bounce. Why? Perhaps the main reason was poor spending. During Gatland's first tenure, the WRU committed its funds to world-leading training facilities for the national side, but underinvested in the club scene. Despite Ireland raking in similar overall revenues, its union would be committing up to £30 million a year more than Wales to their provincial clubs. In 2023, a report found the WRU had flitted away an £84 million TV deal on the purchase of a Cardiff hotel and a zip wire above the Principality. At the same time, the regional budgets and salary caps were being slashed, and they're still being cut. Add this to a distinct lack of player pathways when compared to the private school fueled setups in Ireland, Scotland and England, the continuous rise of football's popularity and generational talents going elsewhere. It all meant when Abby Tierney became CEO, having never worked in sport before, she had a mountain to climb. And yet the beauty of sport, of course, is it isn't played in the boardroom, and sometimes it takes surprisingly little for the narrative to shift almost overnight. When Gatland left for the second time, interim coach Matt Sherratt only had 3 training sessions before Wales's next game, but the team looked unrecognisable, and all he did was pick players in the right positions and provide a bit of attacking structure. Suddenly, Wales were back pushing Ireland to the wire. As Gatland's first tenure taught us, for Wales' success to be sustained,
Good evening, it's the Sports Bar Weekender here on talkSPORT with me, Majestic, alongside broadcaster and Chelsea fan Rory Jennings on an epic day of FA Cup action. We've seen Spurs dumped out the FA Cup at home, 2-1 by Aston Villa. We were watching it before and we had it on talkSPORT, of course, live. 5-1 Chelsea in Liam Rosenior's first game. So let's head back to the Valley as Ian Danton is standing by with the newly appointed Chelsea manager, Liam Rosenior.
Liam, thank you for your time. How satisfied are you with that from your first full game in charge?
Very satisfied. I know how hard a FA Cup third round is away from home against Charlton, who are so well coached by Nathan. I felt some of our football was outstanding, but I was more pleased with our mentality, our attitude and our intensity. Our engagement to the game was top. And yeah, delighted to get through to the next round, and it's a strong start.
What pleased you most then overall over the 90?
The attitude. I think you saw my players run themselves into the ground. That's what I demand. That's why I think we can make a big difference in terms of the intensity, because the quality, some of the football, Mike Caicedo, Andre Santos, Enzo comes on, Esteval, beautiful footballers. But we need to find a way that we can win games when we're not playing well. And sometimes that's defending well, sometimes that's having a really strong press, being really physical, winning duels. And I saw that today. We needed it against a really strong team.
Managers often make changes for cup ties. You made 8 tonight, but I'm guessing, as well as just rotating, you're also looking at players to give you some headaches, selection headaches?
For sure. I said when I first came in, my first day, I said everybody starts anew. Impress me. I'm demanding. I'm demanding in terms of the physicality of our game. But the players who started the game were top. And I was so pleased with the players who didn't start the game. Pedro scores, Enzo scores, Esteval's top. I can't even remember who else came on. They were all brilliant who came on. And that's my point. It's about all players being engaged, involved in the group. It's a start, and we have to continue that now on Wednesday.
When they got the goal back, Charlton, the Chelsea could have had a moment where they could have sort of been a bit rattled, but you got that 2-goal cushion restored fairly quickly.
It sounds crazy, and it's always easier in hindsight. I was quite pleased that that's happened. I want to see a response. We're going to have setbacks, not everything's going to be smooth sailing. That made me really happy, the response of the players to conceding that goal. Some grounds for optimism, but again, like I say, it's only just the start.
That's the newly appointed Chelsea manager, Liam Rosenior, of course, with the legend as Ian Dancer. Rory, I said it before, I said last Sunday, I can't, and I'm at external to Chelsea, but I can't help but really like Liam Rosenior. He's a young British manager. He speaks brilliantly. He's passionate about the game. Mate, I know he's not the marquee. He's not.
I don't get it. Majestic, I want you to be right. Of course I do. I desperately want to agree with you, and I desperately want to sort of enhance your words. But I don't get it. I honestly believe it's the most undeserving managerial appointment I can think of. I can't think of a managerial appointment in British football history that is less deserving. Liam Rosenior, who has Strasbourg 7th in Ligue 1, never managed in the Premier League, a fairly uninspiring playing career, has been dropped headfirst into one of the biggest clubs, managers' hot seats in the country. I can't be enthusiastic.
World Club champions.
Exactly. Therefore, why has Liam Rosenior got the job? Like, never ever has a manager got a job that has been less deserving of the job. Never. Like, Chelsea would always appoint top-tier managers under Abramovich. You know the comparison that came earlier in the show? We had a caller that said that there was a comparison between what happened under Abramovich and what is happening under the Blue Co ownership. And it's so far from the mark. And you can make the point with regard to managers. When Chelsea were good under Abramovich, think who we used to sign managers from. We would go and we would get Jose Mourinho because he won the European Cup with Porto. We would go and we would get Carlo Ancelotti, the serial European Cup winner, even when it didn't work. Even managers that weren't good. Luis Felipe Scolari was mentioned in the newsbreak because we beat Portsmouth 4-0 under his first under the first game in charge with him. Even though it was a disastrous appointment that didn't work, at least the motivation was good. He won the World Cup with Brazil. Now, under Blue Co, we appoint managers from where? Leicester.
Yep.
We appoint managers from Brighton. And now we appoint managers from Strasbourg, a team that's 7th in Ligue 1.
So you didn't like his post-match comments there?
I mean, it felt very David Brent to me.
Very David Brent?
Felt very David Brent, didn't you think?
Cider, Frenza.
Yeah, exactly.
Lager.
Yeah.
The lap.
Yeah.
Me. Ooh.
Exactly.
Saturday night, anything goes.
Yeah, different drinks for different needs.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's... Look, I hope to be...
Mate, I like him. I like him. And you know what? As a young British manager... And we don't have many of them get chances nowadays. We see. Listen, I know what you're saying. The fact of the matter is, it's Chelsea. It's not Brighton. If he went into Brighton, for example, you'd be like, "That's a great appointment." You know what I mean? Young, like.
No, I wouldn't. Honestly, I honestly wouldn't say that. If he went into West Bromwich Albion, I would say it was a good appointment for the Baggies. If he went into Cardiff City, I would say it was a good appointment for Cardiff City. If he went into a Premier League club, I would say, what is that Premier League club doing? The fact that he's gone into a Premier League club who are in the Champions League. What should be one of the most ambitious Premier League clubs in the country. I'd love it to work. I'd love him to win us a league title. But I don't really see that happening.
Got a message here. Rory's on one tonight. What about Vincent Kompany? That's from Vince.
There's always an anomaly. What about Mikel Arteta? But if you were going to use the one example or the odd example, the anomaly example that proves a rule, if you say, let's not sack a manager, because it took Mikel Arteta time. You persevere with managers because Mikel Arteta was persevered with and Arsenal have paid dividends on that. You are going to back a lot of wrong managers because there is one example of it working out. Like Arsenal fans, they think it worked out with Mikel Arteta, but they wouldn't have said we should have given Bruce Rioch longer. We should have given Unai Emery longer. It's worked for Arteta because Arteta is the man that it worked for. Doesn't mean it's a rule that works for everyone.
Tell you what, Luke from South Africa. Big shout out to Luke listening as always. Thank you, mate. He's not having it with you, Rory. He's a Chelsea fan.
You reckon?
He's just saying...
he's swearing. You can't read it out.
Yeah. He said... He just said in wonderful words of Homer Simpson, boring. Let's go to the phone lines. Before we talk more Villa and Tottenham, let's talk about the FA Cup and its magic. Macclesfield.
Yeah.
Knocking out the holders of the FA Cup. Let's go over to Tom, the Crystal Palace fan. He was at the game today. How are we, Tom?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you, boys?
Yeah, not bad. Obviously, a great season for you last year. And, of course, finished with the Charity Shield win, the Community Shield, should I say. That was your cup. You're now out of it. Can't defend it anymore. Yeah. How are you feeling?
Not good. I said to a few people this morning, a few of my mates saying, what do you reckon, predictions and stuff? And I thought we'd win comfortably, and there's no excuses from me. We loved the FA Cup. Our run last season was fantastic. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of the FA Cup anyway, regardless of last season. And Yeah, I mean, I'm gutted. Obviously, they were saying it's like the biggest upset in terms of the places between the two teams.
Something like 155 places, isn't it?
Thanks, mate.
Also, it's non-league. It's symbolically, it's non-league opposition knocking out the holders.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's the fact that they're the holders.
Tom,
do you know what? No excuses. We were diabolical today, and the manager's come out and he said exactly the same. And for me, some of those players should never wear the shirt again. I'm not talking about your Whartons. Wharton had a bad game. No one had a good game. But the trouble is with Palace this season, we didn't invest in the summer when we won the FA Cup. We knew we had more games because of Europe. Yeah. And what that means is we made 5 changes today, right, from our league draw against a very good Villa side, by the way. So we've got a draw against Villa on Wednesday. Villa, who in the last 15 games have only lost once and dropped points once, and that was against Arsenal. And then we turn up at Macclesfield, and all credit to Macclesfield, they were brilliant. They'd done a classic FA Cup job. But the point I want to make, we can't afford, like we should be able to make 4 or 5 changes in a game like this and know we're going to win. Because it's like bare 11. Like beyond the 11 that start for us, he doesn't trust any of the players.
No.
And that's a really big problem for me. And that, it does go back to the board and that, and
Tom, does it worry you? Of course, you've lost Emre Echeze, right? Gay looks obviously he's gone. It could be this.
I think he will.
Yeah, it could be this transfer window even right.
I think so.
You know, Walter, everyone's eyeing him up as well. Do you think this could really? And the manager's being reluctant to sign a new deal. This amazing run that Crystal Palace have been on over the last couple of years. Are you scared that that's coming towards an end? And there seems
I am. There's two points again, just briefly I want to make on that. So we've always been a selling club, right? I mean, I've been a Palace supporter long enough that I saw us at the bottom of the Championship. 10-point deduction on the brink of abyss, right? So I sort of take a step back sometimes when I'm frustrated and think, look, we're in a good position. But I don't think Glasner stays longer than the end of the season at best.
I'd agree with
that. I think we're kind of our own worst enemy in that if we had backed him, possibly. The only way I think he might stay is if we can win the Conference League and we get Europa League. But going back to the other side of that question, we've always been a selling club. We've always had to sell our best players. And we sold we sold Zaha eventually. We sold Elise.
I remember buying Chrissy Armstrong off you. That was a record-breaking deal for Spurs at the time when he was like the top striker.
Yeah, that's a bit before my time. But yeah, the point being, look, we're Crystal Palace, right? Players are going to come to us, and they are going to, if they are great and they develop and they perform, they're going to go on to want to play for bigger clubs, bigger stadiums, bigger level, and I've got no problem with that. So I don't think it's the end of the world. We'll rebuild as we always have, but we're never going to have it as good as I can't see us getting a better manager than Glasner. That's my worry. It really is.
It's a great shout. Thank you very much, Tom, the Crystal Palace fan. Just quickly on that, looking at say Semenyo going from Bournemouth to Manchester City, and you look at what they sold in the summer with the defenders and stuff, to Liverpool, Real Madrid, PSG, etc. Do you think, the last couple of years in the Premier League's been really tight? Forest up there, Palace up there, Bournemouth, everyone. Do you think that now those players that really were making the difference at those clubs have been seen and the spotlight's been on them, they're all moving on? Yeah. That we're going to see that sort of divide again?
Yeah, potentially, although I do think that the recruitment at certain clubs is so good.
So good, yeah. They'll be, look at Brentford, Thiago.
Exactly, that they'll be coming through. Do you know what, just before we move on, Madge, I think we just have to acknowledge Crystal Palace. Not a good day for them, but morally, they did a brilliant thing here. They donated their share of the gate receipts to Macclesfield.
Love that.
Which I thought was huge. And they also donated the television money. So it's a lot of money that has gone into the pockets of Macclesfield, which is huge. Over 120 grand from the TV alone.
Yeah, that's brilliant stuff.
So good work from Palace there.
03717 223344. On the way, I'm going to be speaking to a Villa fan. Spurs fans are on the phone lines as well. There's so many people want to get through and have their say. If you're one of them, 03717 223344. You can even WhatsApp us. I can see it in front of me right now. If you want to come and give us a little message, try and read it out on air here on talkSPORT with Majestic and Rory Jennings. this is the Sports Bar Weekender here on talkSPORT. Me, Majestic and Rory Jennings. We're sort of 2/3 of the way for a thrilling FA Cup weekend. Still loads of games to come tomorrow. We're going to be previewing those during the show as well. And of course, I'm going to be back on air tomorrow with the one and only Alan Pardew, who knows all about the FA Cup. Been to a couple finals as a player and a manager.
Good dancing.
Good dancing.
It was slightly premature dancing, but it was good dancing.
But and a West Ham team that should have won an FA Cup then.
Yeah.
They're so unlucky. Gerrard!
Just Gerrard, isn't it? Gerrard was too good. Like, no Gerrard, they win it. West Ham win the cup that year, no doubt.
Unbelievable. Speaking of winning cups, we've been talking to Aston Villa fans, and both me and you, Rory, have been waxing lyrical about Aston Villa tonight. I think we've been very nice to the Villains. But 1957 was the last time Aston Villa won an FA Cup. Could this be the year? Rory, let's go over to Scott, who's a Villa fan, and find out. How are we, Scott?
Hi, Matt. Are you okay?
Very well. You on the way home?
Yeah, I'm nearly home. Probably about 5 minutes away now, so I'll pull up.
Not bad. As I said, listen, I was at the game earlier myself, and the noise from the Villa end was absolutely superb. So fair play. You know, the real fans are the away fans, the travelling fans are the heart and soul of football. And the Villa fans were brilliant tonight. Another victory for you. It was like, I don't know, was you at the league game at Tottenham earlier on in the season? Because it was like rinse and repeat. It was rinse and repeat.
Yeah, it was very much the same. I mean, I watched that one on the telly, and I'm a season ticket holder at the home games, but try and get an away game when I can. And there was 9,000 of us there today, so it took me an opportunity to see and break the snow and everything doing.
So what's the ambition then, Scott? Because, you know, as we said, 1957 is the last time you won an FA Cup. You look at the Villa side now, and whether it's Arsenal, whether it's Chelsea, Man City, you can beat all of these teams. The FA Cup surely should be a priority of Aston Villa's this season.
I think Unai's always put it down to Premier League first, Europa League second, FA Cup third. But as fans, we want to see a trophy. And I think more for Unai's, I mean, he's absolutely worshipped by us lot. So I think it would be a real shame if we went through Stowe without a trophy. But in every game we go into, we always feel we've got a chance because we prove we've beat some of those big sides. You know, on multiple occasions in some instances. So,
well, as Rory said, Scott, you've got so many moments, Ben, in your team. People that can produce a bit of magic out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. So, as a Villa fan, you never completely relax. Like even today, that first half was sensational. Really, I couldn't believe how well we were playing. But it's also, we've had so many spells as Villa fans where we've come short, or we've had those roller coaster moments. So we just enjoyed it. It's I think an FA Cup win's definitely possible, but at the same time, we're just enjoying the ride and just proud cherishing Unai while we've got him.
Scott, do you want to see any transfer activity this window? Like, what are you hoping for?
We've been linked with a striker just to give Ollie a bit of backup. I mean, we've got Donny Marlon, but he's not an out-and-out number 9. And I think
I like him, though. Good player.
Ollie's a very good impact player, and also it's sometimes he can't be the player that holds it up. And Ollie's a very kind of a purple patch player as well, so kind of just want someone to give Ollie a bit more of a nudge, using more of a natural number 9. But at the same time, I know we've been linked with Conor Gallagher recently, who's a player I really like. But I know we're very stacked in the middle in holding him in. I think it's a very strong position of ours. But we've also got injuries like Anana, Ross Barkley, and potentially Kamara tonight as well. So we'll have to see. I think strike's probably more of a priority. Potentially a right back in the summer. But I trust Unai. He's very good at getting the best out of players. So let's see what happens.
Love that call. Thank you very much, Scott. Do you know what I like about the Villa fans? Very grateful about their manager, aren't they? They're very grateful they've got a top manager.
Yeah, right? Because they've got a top manager. I think when you have a top manager, it's probably quite easy to be grateful.
No, but I think even with Arsenal fans, sometimes with Arteta over the last couple of years, they've been a bit harsh on him. And that's me saying as a Spurs fan. I'm like, look what's going on. Now the process is so nearly complete. He's turned them all.
Yeah, he has.
He has.
He's done a good job. Annoyingly, he's done a very good job.
Let's go over to Paul, because I want to hear what he thinks about the Tottenham gaffer, because he's a Spurs fan. How are you, Paul?
Yeah, not too bad. How you doing, guys?
Yeah, was you at the game earlier, mate?
I was, just driving home now. We're about 2.5 hours away from home. So
where's home, mate?
West Cornwall.
Oh, wow, that is a long old trek. So you've come all that way. We've been dumped out of the cup. How are you feeling on that way home? Because those long journeys is where you get to reflect, don't you?
Yeah, it is, and we tend to do it quite a lot. We've got a supporters club down in Cornwall, so we do quite a few games.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of going home feeling exactly how I expected to feel, which is kind of the best way I can summarise this season so far. To be honest, it's very underwhelming.
Underwhelming as well. I kind of walked out of the stadium tonight as well because I thought the second half we played a lot better. It was a lot better, and there was a bit of fight. And I thought, where was that in the first half? We wouldn't be in this position. And as I said to Rory, couple of goals ruled offside, etc. You know, with no VAR. Thomas Frank, I'm so undecided on him, and I wonder what you think, Paul, because we've got to look at the fact that he's not had Solanke, Kulusevski and Maddison for a whole season. Solanke came on for 5 minutes today and already felt a little bit more assured that someone's up there holding the ball for a little bit of time. You know, you look at the injuries he's had there, then he's obviously some, you know, Kudus has gone off injured the other night, etc. He's not had one chance this season. There's not been one game where he's got ultimately out of that squad the best 11 playing. So I don't know whether or not we can truly judge him, or are you done with him, Paul? What's your thoughts?
To be honest, I was more than when we appointed him, I thought he was a good appointment. These injuries are killing him, if you like. We haven't, like you said, he hasn't put out his best 11. He's out, which have been nowhere near it. And we're just lacking going forwards. Like, you in the final third, missing players like Kulusevski, Maddison, Solanke. These are key players, and these are players that will go straight into our 11 and play more often than not.
Well, if you think about last season, Paul, right? Our five most important players going forward in terms of goals and assists numbers-wise was Brennan Johnson, who we've sold, Son, who we've sold, and then Kulu, Maddison and Solanke. All five of them are now missing, and you're expecting Matthias Tell, who was part of that last year and came in to step up, Richie, etc. Richie, who again went off injured tonight. I really do feel a little bit for Thomas Frank because there's so many other things wrong at Spurs.
Yeah, I couldn't be more impressed, as you said there. If you take the side played out of any Premier League side or any side, in fact, like they're all just, you know, a massive drop off in quality of performance. And to be fair, Frank hasn't had that from the get-go, has he? So he's got that against him. I'm just expecting a little more from the players he's got. It just seems a little bit one-paced. And like you said, we did see a bit of a resurgence in the second half, but albeit that was at 2-0 down, and the game could, you know, you could argue that the game was gone.
Yeah.
Villa, take nothing away from them. I thought their fans today were amazing. Oh, to come down on a Saturday night and they bring down 8,000 or 9,000, superb. We were in the South Stand, and you couldn't hear a Tottenham fan sing pretty much. I mean, you could hear Villa singing for the whole game. I thought they were brilliant. After the game, on the way back to their buses, they were brilliant. So fair play to them, and they thoroughly deserve the win. I wish them the best.
Absolutely brilliant. Cool. Thank you very much to Paul. Let's go to Josh, who's a Spurs fan. How are you, Josh?
Yeah, not too bad, boys. How you doing?
You on the way home as well?
Yeah, we're on our way down to, we're Oakhampton down in Devon, but yeah, it's a long way to go back home after a loss like that.
The long journeyman home. I like it. Still listening to the show.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Frank?
A bit undecided myself. I don't really particularly feel too sorry for him. It's more the club. We've got no direction. We've got no strategy. The signings, the transfer policies, it's just going downhill quicker and quicker, and we've sort of become a second-rate team, really. It's just really disappointing to watch.
Do you think we're finally coming into fruition? I'll never forget that Pochettino interview that he did with Gary Lineker, where he said, well, you've got an amazing stadium. Wow, and all that. He goes, but yeah, you've got a nice house. You need furniture to fill it. And then he went, Harry Kane, Son, Dele Alli, you've got some good furniture. He goes, yeah, but we need furniture in every room. And from that moment there, and when Pochettino said those weird comments before the Champions League final, if I win the Champions League final, I should leave because it's as far as it will ever go, because he was suggesting he weren't getting backed. Now, we've seen from that moment there, Mourinho come in, Conte come in, Nuno come in, Ange come in, etc. We won a trophy with Ange, still not satisfied, still not changing things, still doing things in the summer like losing out on Eberechi Eze when we could have got that deal done early doors, the Morgan Gibbs-White deal, which was embarrassing as well. Like you said, there's something inherently wrong. What's the way forward? Is it the only way forward is for the club to be sold?
Well, I personally think it is, but again, there's too many problems to fix. I mean, when you look at the managers that we've had over the last 10 years, no one's backed any of the managers, and then we get half-rate managers. They give them a bit of money. They don't spend it very, in the right areas and at the right times, and we just end up going around in circles. I mean, half the players that are on the pitch there today, you wouldn't get in any any top 6 team. They wouldn't get in any top. They're just not good enough.
Is it as simple as this? Like, from the outside looking in regarding Tottenham.
Yeah.
The problem for me, looking at the club, it's the attack. The attack looks so impotent. It looks so uninspiring. It just looks quite easy to defend against and fairly predictable. To give Frank his due, however good you think Kulusevski is, however good you think Maddison is, and however good you think Solanke is, they would all be in Tottenham's starting lineup.
Yeah.
If Thomas Frank had those players in his side, would it be a different story?
Isn't it?
Sorry, John. Just repeat that.
It's irrelevant to the cause, though, isn't it? It doesn't matter. You've got to make do with your injuries. You need to have squad players. You need to have.
Yeah, that's where you're absolutely right in terms of you're looking at the bench. I looked at Arsenal's bench the other night.
Yeah, no, it was stacked,
ridiculous.
It was stacked.
But again, you look at the money they've invested. Yeah. And again, I hate to say it because it's obviously Arsenal, but the way that they've recruited and what they've done it well. And they've allowed one person to come in and go, this is my philosophy. This is how I want things. I don't want Larry thinking he's big over there. Like, Aubameyang, him and Arteta did not get on. He kept finding him, didn't he? Come late, fine, get out. I don't care who you are. Yeah. And he was he instilled in them. And I remember watching that, the Prime series they do with the football clubs with Arsenal.
Yeah.
And he very much was instilling to all those players, this is Arsenal Football Club, and this is what this club's about. Yeah. And I think that is the problem with our football club at the moment, Josh, is we don't have anyone to suggest that. Thomas Frank's coming, he's new. He can't tell you what Tottenham's all about. The only person who can tell you what Tottenham's all about is Ben Davies. And he's been there 10 years. And I love Ben Davies, because I've always said, Ben Davies is probably the type of geezer that goes to see his nan every weekend and brings the groceries. He's a lovely lad. Come on, Nana, I brought you your tea this week. He's a lovely lad. Yeah. But that is not inspiring enough to go and win. Everything that we had inspiring about Tottenham Hotspur, Son, Kane, it's all gone.
It's gone.
It's gone, innit? And literally,
it's a full rebuild.
It's a full rebuild, and he spoke about that rebuild, Poch, 10 years ago. That's when he was talking about doing it. Are we going to see, and this is the likely situation, I think, Thomas Frank rides it out to the end of the season, the World Cup comes, and Pochettino comes back to Tottenham Hotspur with unfinished business, and I don't know how that would end.
But he's still got to be backed. He's still got to be backed, and this is the problem. It's not happening. It's not happened for the last 10, 15 years. I mean, last year winning the Europa League, in my opinion, is a complete fluke. You look at the squad players we've got. Like I said, I don't think half of them would get any. Some of them are League One players, in my opinion. They're just absolute crap. We've got to do better. We've got to aspire to be better as a club. We can't keep wasting our money on half-rate players. I mean, when Richarlison come, it's like, how much of a negative move's that? He's not a Spurs player. He's not got the DNA of the club. He's lazy, and it's just a mess.
Do you know what? One thing I will say, I don't think Richarlison's lazy. He looks lazy in his facial expressions. He does work hard, but his end product, I'm not relying on putting my hat on him to finish. For example, when he took the ball of Dane Scarlett in the Champions League, Dane Scarlett could have scored his one and only Champions League goal, who deserved the penalty, and he goes and misses. Brilliant call and safe journey home, chaps. 03717 223344. We've still got loads to talk about. We're going to be reviewing today's FA Cup action as well as previewing tomorrow's massive day of FA Cup action here on talkSPORT. It's Majestic and Rory Jennings. It's the Sports Bar Weekender.
Be there for Super Bowl 60 on talkSPORT.
That's right, talkSPORT listeners. It's Super Bowl time, so it's a competition that of a lifetime, if you like the Super Bowl like Rory Jennings does. Our latest competition has landed, and this is your chance to be at the greatest show on earth, the Super Bowl, on Sunday the 8th of February, as well as a pair of tickets. We're chucking in a flight to San Francisco. That's right, flights to San Francisco. 3 nights accommodation and spending money, all covered. Listen up, here's how to enter. For your chance to win, text the word WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 418 7260. Lines close on the 22nd of January 2026 at 4 p.m. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it does indeed ring. 18 plus, UK residents only, and this is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. So for your chance to win, text the word WIN to 83338 now. Good luck.
Be there for Super Bowl 60 on talkSPORT.
I've just been in voice modes all day. I've been with, hacks. Man like hacks.
Man like hacks.
Yeah, and mate, accents galore.
Yeah, no, he's brilliant at that.
We winding everyone
He
up.
turns it on all the time, doesn't he?
We was winding everyone up with Tottenham, didn't know where we were from.
No, he's brilliant.
Donald came out. This is the greatest stadium I've ever seen. It's so great.
Where does he sit on Thomas Frank?
He's just, again, Hacks is quite a positive Spurs fan in terms of he wants the team to do well. But it's just, again, at the moment, it feels like we've got no identity, don't know where we're going. So let's go and ask Colin, who's a Spurs fan. He's got the same name as my dad, so he must be a proper geezer. How are we, Colin?
Madge, can you hear me?
I can, mate.
Cool. Yeah. I'm a Spurs fan. Can you hear okay, or is speakerphone?
No, you're sounding great. You're sounding very crystal clear.
Okay, I'll try to be quick then. There's one really quick point about on pitch, and then something that Rory tends to talk about that's more of a wider point that I think is far less prosaic than the on pitch soap opera. However, I can tell you what I think. Thomas Frank, well, he's doing perfectly acceptably. What can you do?
What, with that squad?
Yeah, and the whole thing of business versus club, which is where, or team, which versus supporters, which is where Rory, when he talks about CFC LDN, or West Ham fans who boycott, or Manchester United fans who set up FC United of Manchester, see something. Supporters like me, I wasn't there today. There was big stuff going on in my life. I was there last week. How exciting that was. And West Ham next week. But anyway, those fans doing that, I'm afraid there's just this misalignment between traditional supporters and the board now. And what Spurs fans must do is not get too upset, because our hopes are not the same thing as entitlements or expectation.
Yeah.
So we can go there and want to support the team. It'd be nice if we did it. That might lift the team occasionally, instead of giving people a chorus of boos. However, it's not all down to us. And no, I'm not saying that. I understand your friend, Matt, the burger man.
Yes.
I understand him. All the people who get worried about him, they're just worried about health. And I can understand how he gets upset like that. Because it's a disappointment, an incredible disappointment to see. Why are you drip feeding pennies to them? Just to keep them in the top 6 if you can, and on the TVs around the world with Spurs all over it. I like all that as well. I liked the kit when I was 5 years old, when we last won that UEFA. And it was exciting. But I'm 50, so the on-pitch soap opera, as I said, is a bit prosaic, and I kind of know what's coming. But sometimes they make us happy. Madge, like you probably, I walked around like my feet had springs and cushions in them for about 3 days after that win.
Big time.
So occasionally it pays off. But the rest of the time, Thomas Frank right now, crikey, water to wine, guys. Water to wine.
It's not quite wine, though, is it?
No, he's not doing that. And I mean, that would be a miracle, Rory.
Yeah, I'm saying you're asking the job of water to wine, and at the moment we have still got very lukewarm water.
Putrid water.
Yeah.
It's a bit ditch-waterish, yeah.
But do you know what the irony is, Colin, is, with Spurs, that we find ourselves back into these positions, right? And, I can go as far back as being really, really young and remember sort of the everyone being upset with Alan Sugar. When he was there, and Sugar's gone bad. I remember there was protests at Enfield Football Club when we were playing Enfield, and because I'm from Enfield, it was a pre-season friendly. Then you go back to the days of Keith Birkinshaw with the comments, there used to be a football club over there. We're in a place now, Colin, it's just, with ENIC, I just think we're in that place of either invest or sell. But especially when we're getting all these rumours of there's a crypto millionaire wants to buy Spurs for this much money, and they're like, no, we're not for sale. We're just at that point now where it's like, please put us out of our... Even like you said, we won the trophy of Bilbao, and I did walk around like I was on cloud 9 for about 3 days. But it's now at that point, it's either you've got to invest properly and regularly and say, this is the guy, regardless of what you say, and get behind him, or just put us out of our misery, really.
Yeah. And Rory, I would agree with what you're saying. It's the attack. It's so tepid. And though, Madge, which basement are they locked up in, all these injured players, especially... Not ACL. Okay, we understand Maddison. But where's Solanke and Kulusevski?
Well, luckily, at least we see Solanke come back on today knowing that he's actually still there. Because there's like a bit of an ongoing joke. It's like a Spurs player gets a knock and they've never been seen again. It could be like a horror film. It could be like a Halloween type thing. It's like called The Knock. So someone gets injured. It's like, when they get injured at Spurs, they never get seen again. It kind of feels like that. Colin, are you Frank in or out?
Frank, we are lucky to have such a perfect gentleman in the building. He's a quality human being.
But is he a good manager?
He's good enough. Look what he did at Brentford. You think that's an accident?
No, I suppose I don't.
Yeah, but apart from keeping him up, what did they do? That's the counter argument.
Listen, Madge, do you think that's an accident?
They didn't stay up. They're quality on the brink of, just behind your Brighton, usually somewhere around there. Not just staying up.
No.
I know the
Colin, what are you up to? Where are you?
Well, I've had a busy and rough, perhaps, time lately, Rory, and I'm actually, as I was saying, I wasn't at Tottenham today. I'm in Lincolnshire, where it's quiet, because I'm in rehab for the back problem that was so painful after, here we go. No. It's too painful a year, actually, or 2 years. So, I take it easy sometimes, but I'll be there at for the West Ham game.
And you know what, Colin, you know what's coming, didn't you, in their cup final? We're gonna lose, and I'll tell you what, if that happens, I think he'll have to go. Colin, thank you very much. Great call from Colin there. Can we squeeze Matt the Spurs fan in? Let's go to Matt. How are you, Matt?
All good, mate. All good. Nice to see you today.
Mate, I tell you what, my bag and me, I stink of your burger van now. Thank you for looking after it. Ridiculously, I couldn't bring my bag in to Spurs. The same bag I bought in about 5 times with my laptop. I was like, all right, I'm going to leave it with Matt. I walked away and just gave it to you.
Do you know, I walked in and I said to the girls, what's that? And they went to me, oh, that's your friend. Who? I said, the guy on talkSPORT. I was like, right, what's he doing up there? I said, it's going to stink. Put it in the cabinet. And she went, well, we just took it and we was busy. I was like, okay, no worries. Just get it down straight away. But, going on to this, you saw me anyway.
Yes.
As you was leaving, mate.
Holding court as always, Matt. They love him there, mate. I'll tell you what.
Do you know what? These lot are just going to give me something, mate. I'm telling you. My blood pressure's already soaring. The way these they're clowns running this football club, and I hope the IT department are hearing this. Clowns. They need to sell up. They're milking our football club by the second, and everybody needs to go. Yeah. The problem we've got right now is we've got a guy there that's running the team. Watching him chew that gum, mate, it just infuriates me watching him. But he's under pressure. I can see he's under pressure. Yeah. And to be honest with you, anybody, and I give him his little bit because he's coming to a football club with. I mean,
I'd rather pick 11 from a Sunday football field than what they've got at the club. But, what frustrates me is this guy, what made him leave Brentford to come to this mess? What made him? More money to get sacked within 6 months and his status, his CV, to be flat as a pancake? Because he ain't going to get nothing else after this because he's just killed himself.
But do you know what?
You don't know about pot. You know what? 60%, and I mean 60% were with, and 40% were, we ain't won nothing. That's how they were seeing him. This guy was under so much restriction with that previous parasite, and we've got to this stage now where Antonio Conte's come out and told the fans, and I'll tell you what, forget Antonio Conte. Romero come out and told the fans. And do you know what? Everyone's going, oh, Romero should be concentrating on his football. Romero's telling you what they're doing up there. They're lying to the fans. And the thing is, the fans can't say if they're true fans or they just come for the... Because all I see is people taking photos of that stadium every time they come. But my thing is, if you're going to leave after 50 minutes, what's the point you come for? Because everybody's gone, this is all fine. But you've come to the games, every single game. We've had 10 games. We've won 2, drawn 3, lost 5. And the 5 we've lost to, Fulham. We've drawn against Wolves.
Yeah, it's not good, Matt.
What are these people have to make a stand. You either not turn up, or you end up staying in that stadium to make sure that the cameras pick up, the media pick up, and put pressure on these owners. Because I'll tell you what, Majestic, don't tell me right now, mate, that you're happy if they go out and spend £150 million. Because that's not going to cut it with me.
No.
It ain't going to cut it with me. Because these people, I was listening to your show, not yours, but talkSPORT, throughout the week. And we're 10 days into the transfer window. 10 days. And we're linked to a guy who's 19 years of age from Santos. That does not tell me that anything's changed. Nothing's changed. Vinay has to go. That Lange has to go. Vivian and Charlie needs to sell up. That's the bottom line. We need a change at the football club from top to bottom. And I mean everybody at that football club needs to go. And I mean, I don't care who you are, everybody. I mean, the people, only the people that are working for a normal wage, they're the only ones that should be at the football club. Anybody above that, and I mean earning the thousands and the millions, they need to go tomorrow morning. Because it's enough now. We've had enough. Because this is awful, mate. We're having Villa fans that are playing championship football 5 years ago singing to us that Thomas Frank is an Arsenal fan.
It was bad, Matt, wasn't it?
Mate, this is the PR that the football club is under with these owners. We're called Spursy. Thomas Frank is an Arsenal fan. Enough is enough. It's got to happen. If it don't change, mate, then I'm telling you, these protests are going to be far larger than what it was for that other parasite. Because they got him out. For what reason did they get him out if they're behaving in the same way?
Brilliant call. Thank you very much, my man Matt there. He's normally down as Angry Matt. He's back as Angry Matt. He's back as Angry Matt.
Everyone's that.
Do you know what? My
I love that mentality. I want basically, what did he say? Unless you're on minimum wage.
What's that feeling there? Everybody! Yeah. My son loves Angry Matt. He's like, can we go and see Angry Matt before the game? 03717 223344. See, Spurs? That's what you're doing to Angry Matt. You ruined my birthday. I smell like Angry Matt's burger van, which is a great burger van, by the way, if you want a nice bit of food. My son loves a hot dog there. Before we go and get the prawn sandwich, he's like, I want a hot dog.
Yeah, fair.
You don't want a prawn sandwich.
Bit of everything.
Yeah.
Like it.
Call us 03717 223344. That was Angry Matt, the Spurs fan here on talkSPORT. got the beats rolling now, Rory. It is a Saturday night.
Yeah.
I'll start spraying some bars.
Yeah.
It is the Sports Bar Weekender here on talkSPORT with me, Majestic and Rory Jennings. We've had everyone on tonight. We've had Villa, we've had the Charlton, we've had Crystal Palace, we've had Angry Matt, the Spurs fan. He was angry, wasn't
he? He was fantastic.
Well, why do we love the FA Cup, Rory?
Upsets.
Upsets.
Drama and upsets.
The giant slaying.
Giant killing. Ronnie Radford. The spirit of Ronnie Radford at Hereford.
Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it? And today we got that because the holders of the FA Cup, Crystal Palace, who were glad all over when they won, they're not tonight. And that's all because of Macclesfield. And guess what?
Tell me.
We got a Macclesfield caller.
Get in there.
Let's get him.
Today belongs to you, mate.
Let's go. How are we, Paul?
Come on, you Siltman.
Yeah, get up there.
How are you, pal?
Well, listen, you've just had Angry Matt on. You've now got Happy Paul, because I tell you what, I have never known a day like today. I'm a lifelong Spurs fan. My parents are from London. My dad moved up for work in the 70s. He moved up to Macclesfield. So I've also got I've always lived in Macclesfield. So Macclesfield are my lower league team, like. Now, obviously, when we had the financial troubles and we went bump when it was Macclesfield Town, and then the legend that is Robert Smethurst decided to buy the club and reform the club as Macclesfield FC, I tell you what, he was paid back in droves today because the scenes at Macclesfield were unbelievable and they deserved every bit of it. They were absolutely superb. So big shout out to Rob and a massive shout out to the team at Macclesfield for putting on such a good day. And by the way, a big shout out to the Palace fans. They were class today. They applauded the teams off the pitch. Really, really good day. Absolutely buzzing.
And this is what the FA Cup's for, isn't it, mate? And this is why we love it so much, because this can happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you know, there is no bigger giant killing. You know, we've seen sort of Sutton in the past, and we've seen there, you know, now that's going to be Macclesfield. The pictures that you see for years to come now will be Macclesfield. It's the biggest gap there's ever been in the FA Cup.
And it was the holders. That's what makes it.
Yeah.
I feel that's what makes it so significant. You knocked out the holders.
I think.
What was it? Macclesfield National League North, right?
National League North.
Yeah. So for example, my Enfield, where I'm from, Enfield are in National League South. So it's like Enfield.
Like Enfield beating Tottenham.
Wow.
You give them a chance, to be fair.
Yeah, you do give them a chance. You give them a chance.
Sorry, boys. I'm gonna bang the drum now for, you know, I again, a bit like your caller who's on his way to Cornwall. I found a member of a Spurs supporters club up in Macclesfield, and we used to go to all the games. I tell you what, I get as much, if not more, enjoyment going to Macclesfield than I do going to Spurs. I feel so much more connected to this football club. I can go and speak with the owner. I can go and speak with Rob Smethurst. I can go to John Rooney, the manager, and have a chat. I can speak with Paul Dawson, the captain. All right, Dawson, how you doing? You know, I can speak with these, but they're in the bar after the game.
Yeah.
You are so, you know, so my advice is, you know, if you can, all right, we've all got allegiances to all of our clubs wherever we live in the country, but if you're in England, go to a Macclesfield. If you're in Wales, go to Connors Quay. If you're in London, go to Dulwich Hamlet. You know, go and suss out these clubs. And I tell you what, if you felt anything like what I felt today, you won't be disappointed.
And that is exactly why we love football. And that is what you're saying. You know, we're talking about multi-billionaire companies and feeling soulless. Like, you know, Rory's talking about his ownership. You know, you've heard Matt, and of course, you being a Spurs fan as well, Paul, you know better than anyone else with ENIC and the situation we're in. What we're talking about with the FA Cup and the magic of the FA Cup with Macclesfield today is the heart and soul of football.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only thing that could have bettered today was obviously going into the fourth round draw and drawing Spurs. But that was never going to happen.
Well, at least you can rely on Macclesfield. Paul, listen, enjoy your journey home and safe journey. What a